a lot of the
winner chicken dinner.
Yeah, there was a lot of seasons as well with like differing game numbers. Neil T's a very clean spray there onto Canaxi.
Tappity tap.
Tricks
They've
on the
got
roof.
the smokes out. Trick on the roof gets knocked down by Hisaki. Maybe a reprieve for Cerberus. They do lose Duck Mite, but they get one. So 1 for 1 for Cerberus. They know where Man in as well. Man watching the front door, but behind Hisaki. 2 big downs. He almost went down to the nade. Survives it though. They do take the compound. They lose 1, but they get 2.
I will say though, Xanax, I'm watching on the minimap and SGD are moving their way down to that bridge. So if Team Bliss are not quick about this cross, they could be sitting on the sidelines and waiting to see what NGE can do. And NGE have already picked up 3 kills. They're now 2 points deficit on Team Bliss.
Goodness.
SGD, I think they're going to bridge camp them.
This could be huge. 3 kills for NGE. If they get just, I think they have to get 3 more. I believe Team Bliss have the tiebreaker. We saw them tied earlier this evening, and I believe NGE were holding the 11th position when that happened. But yeah, this is the stuff of nightmares for Bliss fans if NGE go massive in this last game and Bliss drop out of the top 10. Okay,
I know I'm cutting in here, but Team Bliss have cancelled their bridge cross. They saw SGD, or they had a spider sense. I don't know. They were halfway over that bridge, and they've decided to turn around and go back the other way.
Wow. Massive. Yeah, well, I did see Team Bliss go to the crossroads before Jordan early, and they got to the crossroads early, and I do wonder, by getting to the crossroads early, you get a little bit of vision. I wonder if they actually had someone already in a position to watch to see, does SGD come? Had you then seen that, you can then obviously make the decision to not go over the bridge. So SGD will be like, well, this is obviously not going to go our way, but it does force Team Bliss on a massive rotate. Massive, maybe even into the blue. 2.5 minutes, but it is making its way in close by to Ferry Pier at the moment, and you've still got to go over the Lighthouse Bridge. As we do see the map, actually, this is probably really good to see. You can, of course, watch twitch.tv/PUBG Esports map, but there's that bridge camp from SGD, and Team Bliss have circumnavigated it.
Definitely be worse. The real problem for Team Bliss here is, of course, that NGE have picked up 3 kills already.
Yeah.
So they've closed the distance, and it's really teetering on a precipice right now as to which team's going to go through to PGC. Let's be real with ourselves.
Yeah.
So the only way that they can actually, quote-unquote, ensure that they go through to PGC is to ruin Team Bliss's game, and their assumption is Team Bliss is going to cross over this bridge.
At some point, though, you've got to go, hey, guys, I wonder, there's a second bridge. Maybe they went that way.
Maybe.
You've got to leave the blue at some point, guys. Like, Team Bliss are not going to be just holding crossroads in the blue phase 2 for this long. Like, come on, this is ridiculous from SGD, and they're giving up circle position too. They're really starting to actually call...
It doesn't matter, though.
Well,
it really doesn't matter. They could literally throw their game away doing this, and it wouldn't affect the result in any way, shape, or form.
That is true.
That's the only reason they're still here. They're just praying, hoping, holding on,
yeah,
and hoping that Team Bliss is going to come over this bridge. They're not, obviously, as we know. Place from Buriam. They're only 2 points behind. You get some vision of the rotation attempt from Team Bliss, and obviously SGD trying to bridge camp. We talked about that at length already. It was Mirage that spotted SGD out, so they did move early enough, Team Bliss. And they were well aware that SGD was going to be camping. We wondered, was it Spider Sense or did someone see someone? And of course, Team Bliss, they are doing what they can. They're crossing the T's, dotting the I's, really playing the fundamentals. Long to exit as well and allow thon 5 to walk up on them. This could go horribly wrong. Team Bliss, they've lost a player. Insight's down. Mirage needs to win this duel. He will. It's a big one. Exquisite's down to about half HP as well, but the grenade sends Mirage flying. He's still alive. It's the exchange of artillery back and forth. Team Bliss now know they need to get the hell out of here.
Monty, though, inside of the blue. That nade keeps bouncing away. He'll get the revive because of it. Brim pushing up, though, but inside the vehicle. He's going to get out of it very quickly. Exquisite, 5 bullets left. Has to reload, but he got the down onto Bryn. They get the revive onto inside, but for what cost here? Team Bliss, 2 points above 11th. 2 points into the zone. They might just have to give up Bryn here. There's no chance of saving him. You've got the revive onto insight. You'll have 3 for the remainder of the game, but it's not looking good at all. 14.5 minutes gone. Insight peaks back up, back down to half health. We move away from that one momentarily. Bryn, confirmed, dead, gone. Now over to Cerberus, who are obviously fighting tooth and nail to try and stay alive for that top spot. Edie taken out as well for Buriam on the rotation south of Mansion. If they push into Cerberus, they might be out of the game.
What? They're going to try and breach this as well? Nordra, he's got balls of steel. He's going to send it in onto Cerberus. I mean, there's another player on top as well. It's Delta Mix. Teddy's in here as well. This is just an absolute shenanigans from Buriam. But, hey, that is Buriam in a nutshell, isn't it? They are not afraid of anything. Nordra hits the nade onto Delta Mix. But is he aware that there's 2 Cerberus players still on the bottom floor of this building? There are smokes everywhere.
And would all but confirm for their countrymen, for Thailand, to go back-to-back. And ironically, it was Buriam, the only other team to go back-to-back here for PCS APAC. There's just something about Thailand dominating PCS APAC. Icon knockdown. Cerberus have had a tremendous run this tournament, Jordan. They held first for 27 matches, but at the final hurdle, they have tripped and stumbled, and Daytrade have taken advantage of it. And with a bit of help from their brothers in arms, Cerberus are not long for this world.
Oh, that molly. That molly has landed perfectly. Teddy, what a throw. Himas is dead.
That's it.
That's the end of Cerberus. Daytrade will win PCS 7, and by a significant margin. Now you have to say they're going to continue to add to that total. Much deserving victors. They go back-to-back, but it's not done yet for Buriam.
And we're not done yet for us either. There's more still to this tale. In terms of PGC slots, obviously for Buriam, Jordan, looking extraordinarily likely that they should be okay, but, you know, down to 2 players, only the 1 kill, and SGD still have all 4 players alive. They're at top 5, only 1 point behind them, so they need to get some points here, and they do get rid of Tede on 99, Jordan. 99 points. They've just fallen short of triple digits. It's not going to happen. And then proceeding to run into them. Here we go, though. Daytrade, our champions. Oh, what a nade from Duck Juice! He's known for those. Big blow up for Daytrade, but they can honestly start the celebrations early in terms of PCS winners. Belmoth can have a victory lap on the motorbike. It doesn't matter. You can just laugh about that one. They are your champions. They are your winners. They fought tooth and nail to take that top spot away from Cerberus. It's not the biggest of margins, Jordan, but it's a win nonetheless. Back over to Team Bliss, south of just below heaven, Skygarden, whatever you want to call it. AAP, who have been so quiet for so long, they have the chance to play spoil. They look on over. No nades for CJ. What are the odds? He only needed 1 or 2. Mirage, Insight knocked down. This might be it. Team Bliss might just be saying goodbye to PGC. Wiped out. And now have to just hope that NGE get wiped out, which I don't think will happen. I think it's going to be SGD to PGC.
Well, let's just hold our horses. Stranger things have happened. SGD, they've lost Sophia. Jervis and Leo are the last 2 alive for that squad. And they're just going to pop their heads down. E-Arena on the move now as well, heading towards Skygarden. They probably want to take up residence right where Team Bliss left off. Archangel Predator are incredibly happy with the way this zone has shifted. And honestly, it might even be enough for them to potentially leapfrog Team Bliss as well if they can go on to win the game from this position.
Well, obviously, this was the replay of the attempted crash from Daytrade. And talk about timing, as they hit the wall, blew up. That's probably the closest thing to realism we've seen in PUBG for a while. Over to NGE, Jordan, 2 kills, might do it, 3 definitely will. In obviously denying Team Bliss. GE right now playing for TB as it stands. Van Youngby low, so is Diane. The nades go out. Diane's taken very low. NGE, they're on the back foot all of a sudden. They got 1 kill, 137 points. Only 2 up. Diane gets off the first aid kit, back to 75 health. I think they're going to stay alive. I think they're going to push forward. They don't get the kill, but they're edging closer to placement points as well. 10 teams remaining. Simon with a nade. They have to win this. The duo, if they fall and die to NGE, Bliss are gone from behind. It's AT, but Yuda's taken down by Youngby. They're tied on points, Jordan. They're tied on points. 1 more will do it, and Bliss are out. They're tied. Youngby's taken down. Same with Van. Only only one more standing for NGE. They need to work
The nade!
out Simon T. The nade goes in. They spot Simon and the Dacia. He stays alive. He dies. NGE will knock out Team Bliss. SGD are going to the PUBG Global Championship for Malaysia.
It is
what
done.
An ending.
Neil T, the last man alive for NGE. He is going to go down right after the fact. 1 point, the difference maker for SGD. But NGE, they get it over the line. It's heartbreak again for Team Bliss. And NGE, well, they are owed a beer or two by SGD, I dare say. Oh, dearie me, the drama continues. And for now, we're just playing for placements. We're playing for money. We've locked in the teams going through to PGC. Theraton 5. They want to take third place away from Team Buriam. Goodness me.
That is an amazing ending. Whichever team you support, you just have to stand up and applause for what came down to the wire. Came down to one fight, one little man in Neil T. Jordan. He stood up for NGE. 1 point. Team Bliss have missed out on PUBG Global Championship by 1 point. I know it comes down to the final game, but you've always got to go back and think, could have we done more in week 1? That's got to be the thought process.
Yep.
When you go back and watch the VODs and you break everything down. For SGD, they go out in 5th. They may, and they should be aware that they've done enough. But still, this is the replay of their rotation, and unfortunately, never a good place to be, is it? You're out in the open, exposed, you've got a team above you. Was it the right pull-up? In the end, no is the answer. Obviously, for those unaware, in terms of the live game now, there's not really anything else going on. We have our PCS winner, we have our 6 teams going to PGC. We kind of just cool down a little bit now as we dissect everything, but yeah, that pull-up underneath heaven. Some would call it hell, and that is what Team Bliss are in right now. They are in hell.
Well, look, I mean, you say it might be just the 1 point difference maker, but actually, if Archangel Predator continued to find some frags, they could actually leapfrog Team Bliss as well as potentially even NGE. So it might come down to a little bit even more than that. Theraton 5, they're really under the pump right now, but that's a nice spray from Patton Pong onto Levi's, gets him done. The Expendables out in 6th. That's going to be the end of a phenomenal night. And actually a phenomenal week for the Expendables. They've really, really done well for themselves, and they've secured their PGC spot as well tonight. Nice shots in from Cheeksing onto Exquisite. Buriam and Theraton 5. This is quite an important fight, actually, for both these two teams. There's a lot of prize money involved in the 3rd versus 4th split. And it looks like it might actually end up going the way of Buriam.
That was pretty quick there to see E-Arena exiting the arena. T5, and it's just all the formalities at this point, isn't it? Even in the game itself. Phase 6, Jordan, and we've went down to our final 3 teams. Cheeksing can take it down. So is Nordra. What a response from Buriam as they exit. They kind of looked not in a bit of hurt throughout the middle portion of this event, Jordan, but they bounced back towards the end, didn't they? Finishing strong. They started week 2, 15, 16, 13, 9 in terms of placement points, so they finished off strong, got themselves out of that 5th position, which in the end would have been enough, but they obviously wouldn't have been aware of that. And I guess it comes down to who's going to end up winning this game, and yeah, it might be further bad news for Team Bliss, who look like they may actually even drop out of 11th into 12th. Not that it really matters all that much. Yeah,
not positioning, but he's going to have to really pop off here to win this game for MSC.
35 seconds till phase 8. Jab and Julio versus Mad Dog, CJ, and Evil Patrick. CJ with the mini. Actually almost running out of bullets, Jordan. There's about 14 left in the chamber, but they get the down onto Julio. The job jab now with a big job to do in a 1 versus 3. If he can get the down onto CJ, at the very least, CJ is not going to be able to get brought back up. Is he aware of CJ's position, making the long wrap? Well, CJ looking towards job jab, has spotted him, should finish him off, and does do so. Archangel Predator jump up and will finish in 10th place. They take the win, but Daytrade, they are once again your PCS APAC champions. They go back to back, PCS 6 and PCS 7. It's been their year, Jordan, and they will head to PGC as one of the favorites from APAC.
Well, I guess not so much maybe in the case of Buriam, right? They weren't here in PCS 6, but they've always been a really good squad within the APAC region, so it's not a huge surprise to see them going over to PGC as well. So I'm really happy with the 6 we've got.
so good for so long, Jordan, for Buriam United, that you could almost let them off for missing out on PCS6 and having one stage off. There is our, of course, road to PGC all but completed. Our 6 teams, of course, Daytrade as the PCS7 champion, Cerberus based on the Vietnamese points, and thon 5 based on the Thai points, and then Buriam, Expendables, and SGD on PGC points. Obviously, the total leaderboard, by the way, the total points, 95.